What's up, guys? If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, please smash that like button on the video and enjoy the show. Well, the last time Paul was in here, you were going off about some of the people who are trying to reinvent the Amazon and claiming the whole thing's man-made and running with these headlines. And Danny Jones and me crack up over that line. You're like, I asked you, I'm like, why do you think they're doing this? And you're like, I don't know, because they think their life is the fucking Da Vinci Code.
I got so mad.
But I understand. Like, I've talked with a lot of people on the podcast since then about how some of these things can spread. Because maybe someone, for example, like Graham Hancock, doesn't say, oh, the Amazon was man-made. But when he says maybe there's evidence that some of the Terra Preta or some other stuff could have been. The problem is, and I actually empathize with him in this scenario because he's taken out of context, but it then creates the headline of the Amazon's man-made, so then you can have politicians be like, oh, it's man-made. We can keep knocking it down. We'll fucking rebuild it.
Yeah, and so that comment, now we have to explain it to everybody. That comment, I was going off on it, and they were like, this guy Graham Hancock, and I'm like, well, whoever he is, and I went off on him. I had no idea who he was. And then I found out that half of planet Earth absolutely loves Graham Hancock. Yeah. Everybody loves Graham Hancock. And so I went in and did my research, and then I actually listened to what he was saying. And you're right, Graham Hancock never said that. Yeah. He said there's more here in terms of ancient civilizations than we first thought. Then some dipshit reporters went and said, some archaeologists just said the Amazon was made by humans.
How do you stop that?
You don't. That's humans.
Because they're just going to do that. That headline sells.
Yeah, but that's that's what you get for the news.
Yeah,
that's the news.
When was the first time you read about the Amazon when you were a kid?
I'm trying to think. I can remember almost everything from being a kid. I have like an incredibly photographic memory. I remember catching my first snake. I remember the first time I saw a bear. I remember everything. I don't remember the first time I came online with the Amazon. I remember being so small that I was that I had broken pieces off the Christmas tree and like stuck them in the rug, and I had dinosaurs, and I was pretending it was the Amazon. And then I got in trouble for breaking things off of a Christmas tree.
That was it.
I mean, that was the first time I remember thinking about the Amazon, but I was that young that I was still playing with dinosaurs. So it's probably like 17 or something.
And when you landed in the Amazon for the first time, was it anything like you had thought?
I thought when I was on my way to the Amazon, I thought that I would get there and it would, I didn't know what to expect. I thought that maybe I would get there and it would be cool. Really, that was my best. That was my best. From
Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. But I wasn't ready for, when you break through the clouds and the first time you see it, you see jungle to the horizon. You see nothing but jungle. I was glued to the window of the plane. If I could have crawled out of it, I would have. My heart was rattling against my ribs. I was losing my mind when I saw that jungle for the first time, and I was going, holy shit, it's infinity jungle. It's just to the edge. It's to as far, and you're flying over it for a while. And then you come in and you land and you see some deforestation and stuff. And then a day later, I'm on a boat and I'm going upriver, and this is just these giant walls of jungle, like Heart of Darkness jungle. And then there's, you learn how to distinguish what primary forest is. Jungle that's never been cut. There's differentiation in the vegetation types. So you have like palms and giant hardwoods, and you have river cane and all this different stuff, but it's a varied canopy. If you see like a homogeneous canopy, if you see like one species, or if you see like a lower canopy, you know that that's been cut by humans and it's grown back.
Yes.
And then it's like all Cecropia trees or something. What I was going into was primary forest, like towering ancient forest. And that's the stuff that you never get back once it's gone. And so I went up that for 2 days, and then literally the second that we parked the boat and they're like, all right, we all got to carry our stuff. And you got to carry your stuff a quarter of a mile into the jungle to the research station.
And you're with Emma and JJ?
I'm with Emma and JJ. And I dropped my pack immediately because I was so amazed that there are leafcutter ants. I'd only seen leafcutter ants in planet Earth. And suddenly there's leafcutter ants in front of me. They're actually carrying the leaves. It was just like, I was like on my stomach, just amazed watching these leafcutter ants. And you could pick up the leaf and they just keep running. They're like, they have no idea. They're just like, their job is to carry that leaf in this direction. They're following a pheromone trail, and that's what they're doing. And I was so amazed. And of course, instantly they were like, why aren't you carrying the bags, man? We see leafcutter ants every day, dude. It's a leafcutter ant. It's like it's a squirrel.
You're like, I'm in heaven right now, guys.
I was losing my mind, and then I saw like the first big tree, and I like tripped and fell over. The jungle absolutely shut down my brain.
Because when you're coming down on the plane and you're looking down into the jungle, it's kind of like that first shot on the last podcast intro we used where, remember that, where like the clouds are above the, I'll show you after. But you can't see, this is a misconception I think a lot of us have. You can't see into it because it's completely blocked. You just know it's down there. The sunlight almost barely gets through.
It looks like
in
a
many
field
places.
of green broccoli.
Right.
You can't see. And then 150 feet below that is the ground.
Right.
It's like a human's tiny. Like a human is minuscule.
Does it feel like it's daytime down there when you're in it?
Yeah, it feels like daytime. And there's beautiful spokes of sunlight like coming through, but they say only about 3% of the sunlight that hits the top of the canopy actually reaches the floor of the Amazon. 3%.
Whoa.
And so that's why the turnover rate of the trees, you have these ancient hardwoods. And so some of our ironwoods are like 1,000, 1,200 years old, like ancient trees. But then you'll also get a sapling sitting in the forest. So the seed falls, sapling grows up to about here, and it'll just wait. And it'll wait for 10 years sometimes. They're waiting for a branch to fall or a tree to fall. They're waiting for a light gap. They need more light than that to grow. So that entire jungle is just an energy economy. Everything is pushing each other down and shoving each other over. The trees are all fighting to get their canopy up into the sun. Everything is an energy economy. It's all trying to get to that sunlight. And so if you're growing on the forest floor, you're not able to get the amount of sunlight you need to invest and to stack out and to make that giant canopy, like a trunk, like a kapok tree, an ironwood tree, a Brazil nut tree. They put all of their effort into building this monster column, this huge trunk. And then you have something like the vines, which I forget how many species of vines there are in the jungle, but it's one of the major things that's holding the whole jungle together. But the vines cheat. The vines produce some fruit. Animals eat them. They jump to another tree, take a shit in the canopy of the tree, and then the vines are up in the top. They have access to the sunlight. And so there's all these different methods that the plants are using, but everybody's just trying to get to the sun.
How fast can that vine grow?
They grow fast. But a strangler fig.
50 feet to get all the way up there.
No, they get deposited up in the crown of the tree. Think where the monkey goes here and then takes a shit right here. So that the vine is starting from here.
Yeah.
But then it's going to drop a tendril down and start pulling nutrients from the ground. But then it's going to shoot up some leaves up here. And so you have it getting the sunlight, but it's like major boost.
And how old are the trees that haven't been cut down? Like the top of the canopy trees. Do we have an idea?
It's hard because like if you were to go cut an oak tree right now in the forest, you would have rings. You have tree rings. We have a lot of features in the wood that we have on this table.
Sorry, the Amazon for this table.
This is not, Julian.
What do you mean?
This is not from the Amazon.
What?
This is pine, dude.
Yeah, it's from the Amazon.
It's from North America. This is something I have to do.
From Amazon.com.
People try to get me excited. I had one friend, he wanted me to, this guy got me a bunch of books and he kept telling me, did you read the books I got you? I said, no. He goes, I'm going to kill a butterfly every day that goes by.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. Please hit that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.